So, how are you doing today, Matthew?
I'm doing so-so.
Yeah? So, what's so?
So-so, it's not that great, not terrible, just kind of in the middle.
Okay, so I remember last week when you came and we did a scale. Is this around your anxiety?
Sort of. It was a little more complicated than that, though, so.
Yeah. So when we first met, we did a scale, and it was, I believe it was an 8 out of 10, 0 being no anxiety to 10 being the most anxiety. It was at an 8. What would you rate yourself today?
I would say I'm more of a 5.
5. So you would agree that your anxiety has went down.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. It's not completely gone, but it has decreased, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So let's talk about some of the things that you did to reduce your anxiety.
Okay.
What are some of those things that you remember what you did?
I think I've just been more aware of taking time for myself, going on walks, just eating better, not trying to explode or be so reactive. It's taken time and practice, but I think it's eventually kind of become a habit.
Yes, it appears that it's definitely working, these interventions that you're using. And so, what is your thought process when you're doing these things? Because is it taking you away from your issue of what you're going through?
Yeah, it's helping me sort through and have more understanding of people who just get on my nerves or who just frustrate me a lot.
So let's talk about those people who get on your nerves and frustrate you a lot. Who would they be?
Well, like for instance, my family. I mean, my brother last week, I was just trying to organize stuff, and then he goes accusing me of stealing.
So just because you were organizing stuff, he accused you of stealing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And why would he say that about you?
Well, because, I mean, I was addicted to drugs in the past. I had substance abuse issues. And there might have been a time that I, borrowed $10 or $20, a couple of times. And I guess he thought that was stealing. So it just pissed me off because I made so much progress. And then it makes me think of the worst times.
Oh. And so when you're thinking about these things, your brother brings up stuff from the past, right? And we talked about trying to remain present. Right? So what do you think you can do when your brother brings up these past situations that you did? What do you think you can do about that?
I think I can maybe try to deflect it, maybe try to, change the subject, but also I can, work on my own reaction and be more calm so he won't get inflamed or angry or defensive. Okay,
so you want to role play that out?
Sure.
Because sometimes I know that it's easier said than done.
Right.
So in this role play, I'm going to be your brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you just can be yourself.
Okay.
And just do a case scenario to where, like you mentioned, that you were looking for something, and I'll respond like your brother would respond. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna look at this, see where does this go? I'm gonna see.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to organize this stuff. It looks messy. Can't you see the mess right there?
Oh, I remember this happened before. Are you
before?
trying to steal something? Because before,
excuse me, are you trying to?
Are you looking for money or anything?
No. Obviously, there's not money around there. I'm just trying to reorganize stuff. I'm trying to be helpful and make myself.
Okay. So in that case scenario, when he's trying to bring things back to you from what happened in the past, you can better help them to understand just by saying, no, I'm trying to look for something. I understand what happened in the past, but we need to stay present.
Right.
So just helping him to remind him of what you're doing so he can get a better understanding, because he appeared not to be so understanding. Would you agree?
Yeah, I was a little more defensive than I should be. It's one of my challenges. I try to work through it, but it doesn't work all the time.
Right. So this is a good case scenario. So do you think that today's situation would better help you to think of things differently when you're thinking about them?
Definitely. I think it's really helped me work through my problems and helped me see it through his angle a little more and try to be more mature and understanding.
Okay.
So definitely helped me a lot. Yeah.
Well, you can try that out, and then we'll meet next week to see how things are still working. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Thank you. Hello. How are you doing today?
Trying to do better.
Like, what would you rate your mood on 1 to 10, 10 being the best out of this world and 1
Well, it's definitely not the best.
Really?
But I remember last time it was like 7, and now it's like a 5.
So it's gone down?
Yeah, it's gone down some.
Is there an event in your life? Do you feel a certain way because of something? Is there any negativity or... Because that seems kind of significant change from last time.
Well, it's just... I've been thinking about working some on the things that you showed me last week and, about my thoughts and challenging the way I was thinking. So that has helped some.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just... Man, I spend so much time in jail. I just feel like I'm a bad father, I just, I'm not connected to them. I spend so much time away from them. I was trying to provide for them. And it seems like it's all caught up with me when I went to jail. And now I'm out and I don't have, oh man, it's just.
How old were your children when you were sent to jail?
Well, when I got sent to jail, they were 2 and 5, I mean, that's the, critical years of their life. But, I was trying to provide for them, and got caught up. So, yeah.
Do you feel you did anything significant with them when they were 2 to 5? Like, do you go to museums? Did you go out to the park? Did you read to them?
Yeah, I remember those times. Yeah, I did, I really made them a priority, even though I was doing what I was doing. But I do remember taking them to the park, playing with them. I do remember Chuck E. Cheese, So I remember spending a lot of time with them when I could. They were a priority in my life, but it's just...
See, but I mean, in the early years are a very important foundation for the child's life later when they're an older child, when they're a teen, when they're even an adult. So that was extremely significant. A lot of people's fathers are absent, much longer, much earlier than even have memories of them as an early child, even if they're married to the mother. So I think you probably laid a very important and successful and good foundation. And the challenge is to not see your absence in prisons as a huge weakness, but perhaps build on from that and try to make something positive out of it and teach your kids something about it, about better life choices. Do you think you could do that, or?
Yeah, I think so, because when you mentioned about that, my father wasn't involved. At least I was involved. I was more involved in my kid's life than my father was in mine.
See, that's already a generational improvement right there.
Yeah, but it's just so difficult to think about that sometimes when you want to be with them. But when I think about those negative things and I think about my father not being in my life, I do feel a little better that I do know my kids. Like, I never had a chance to meet with my dad, but at least they know who I am, I think.
Right. No, I mean they know your face. They'll definitely remember those memories at those ages, and you just gotta challenges like trying to keep a positive, framework for that, and maybe draw on some of the strengths you learned in prison, even though prison is stereotyped as a completely negative experience, and it may be in a lot of ways, but just to, serve as a better role model for them, saying that just because you went to prison doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person, doesn't mean you're an incompetent parent, doesn't mean you're neglectful at all. So just try to. So you haven't seen them at all though during prison?
Yeah, well, I've seen them, and the mom would bring them up, but it's just not the same. The mom would bring them up to the prison and allow me to see them.
See, some prison parents don't see their bother to have their children visit, or the children are mad at them. So that must mean that they had memories of you as a good father, probably, and that they want to see you, they want to keep on having a relationship with you, and they certainly haven't forgotten you. So I take that as extremely positive. So
yeah, I think that's a good point that you made, because some of my friends that I know, they don't even get a chance to see their kids, and they were locked up with me. and actually got out before me, and he still don't have a relationship. So I think that's a great idea. To think about the positive out of the situation.
Just try to, I would say, keep in contact. What's the average amount of times you see them per month or per year?
Well, I get to see him a couple of times a week.
Oh, that's awesome. That's even better than I thought.
Yeah.
So I would say just try to work more on communication, how you're feeling.
What do I do about those thoughts? Like when they come up and they say I'm a bad dad, what could I...
I would say to yourself, if I was having this thoughts, I would say, why am I feeling this way? What has society stereotyped and taught me about me as a person or me in this situation that's caused me to think that I'm a bad parent? Do I think I'm a bad parent just solely because I'm in jail? Is it because of something I could maybe do more, or maybe have a more meaningful relationship even though I see them often? Maybe talk to them more, or try to have more meaningful conversations. So maybe just channel it to something constructive.
Okay, so you're telling me when I get those negative thoughts to look back at what type of father I'm doing and spending time with them.
Exactly.
And things like that.
Exactly.
That may help to change my mind on what I'm thinking about negative into positive. Huh?
Exactly, and just go from there.
I'm going to try that.
Definitely.
I'm going to try that.
How have you felt about the session?
I think the session, it went well because it really helps me to think about some things I can do instead of thinking about negative things. I can turn my negative into a positive.
That's awesome. I'm glad it was very productive and helpful for you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.